What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage. I got another article that I wanted to take a look at today. This came out very recently. Today is the 14th as of recording this, so I plan to get this out pretty quickly. This was only published 2 days ago. So this is very interesting considering very recently I posted up another video looking over an article from Game Rant. And how their article just didn't seem to really have a lot of focus in terms of what it was looking at. Tried to say the top 10 rarest Weiss Schwarz cards. And so this is very much in the same vein. I'm not saying that people are watching my videos, but it would be very cool if someone from this saw that video and was like, hey, why don't we do our own and actually make a good fucking article? So this is by Drew Knapp. This is from the TCG Player site. So I'm guessing this is a guy that writes articles for them very frequently. This dude actually knows what he's talking about. Like, I'm fairly certain this guy actually plays Weiss Schwarz. If he doesn't, he has me fooled. I'm going to be completely real. But yeah, he made the 10 most valuable Weiss Schwarz cards right now. And for this particular thing, they followed it by TCG market prices. Like, TCG player market prices. And that was probably my biggest issue with the Game Rant one, was there was no real criteria. It felt like it just really felt like it was just kind of thrown together just to make like a quick thing. Like, it feels like it was done in like 30 minutes. Like look, my videos are fairly low effort, and I feel I put more effort into my videos than the other dude did with the Game Rant article. But this one is actually very good, so I wanted to go over this one and actually take a look at it and check out each of the cards in it. So obviously, their criteria. So let's go ahead and read the first paragraph here, where guy actually gives an information, like a little bit of information and introduction as well, and actually solidifies like criteria and what I feel is like saying like, hey, this is what we're looking for. And throughout this article, he doesn't really repeat himself a whole bunch of times like the other one did. Like, he goes ahead and explains. Like, so let's just get right into it. Weiss Schwarz, Weiss Schwarz and indeed collectible anime cards as a whole represent a highly volatile market. That is very true. Prices shift based heavily on the popularity of a character or their voice actor, and we can see the so-called waifu effect having a massive impact on the value of the cards. Already this dude knows it. This dude's like knee-deep into Weiss. And if he's not, I would be very fucking surprised. Maybe if he's not, he maybe still like got some like advice or something from someone else, but regardless, this is already targeting it way better than the Game Rant one did. If it's a beloved female character in a popular franchise, odds are good that the card is worth much more. So yeah. Weiss Schwarz further sets itself apart from many other card games by offering the perfect way to capitalize on the combined popularity of a character and their voice. Printing particularly rare, stamped variants of their most beloved characters, which is obviously going to be the SPs. Many of these stamp features the signature of the voice actors, while others are name hot stamps like with the VTubers, or manga artist signatures. Here we'll be looking at the 10 most valuable cards in the Weiss Schwarz collection according to current TCG player market prices. So this, as of the middle of April, just as of what Homeboy was looking at, this is his top 10, or even top 10 on the whole site, because they're able to gather the information for that very easily. So yeah, so this is this is crazy. I'm not gonna dig into like the stats of each card or anything, but they the person his name was Drew. I almost said Andrew because I know an Andrew in real life. Gives like a very short thing, but doesn't like feels like he doesn't repeat himself throughout the entirety of it. Let's continue right with it. So, Gushing Flame Shizu SP, and they provide a link to the actual like card on TCG Player. The only thing that it doesn't show is like market price. So like for any of these, I didn't see anything, which means it's like these are all cards that like haven't really sold from what I can tell. But let's look at the Shizu. So only like one listing for $2,500. That is where we start at number 10 is $2,500. So Slime Isekai is one of the best isekai adventures to drop over the last few years, and a substantial part of that comes from the heartfelt center of the story. Even this, like, it feels like they actually watch anime too, so that's awesome. Shizu is very much the emotional core of the anime, which makes it all the better that she manages to sneak her way onto this list. The gold stamped signature is arguably the centerpiece here, ending with a flourishing heart that is remarkably striking, just like the character herself. The fact that they're actually commenting on like how the card looks, how the signature looks, I feel like I'm ranting enough about like the person actually doing a good job, but I really want to emphasize that for a majority of this video. The other video about Game Rant was just picking on it because it just felt like just a quick like, oh hey, let's get views off this article. They didn't do their proper research. They didn't set proper guidelines for their criteria and stuff, and just repeated themselves a whole bunch. I know I've said that, or I've already repeated that fact multiple times in this video alone. So I'm going to try to stop saying all that stuff, but I do agree with all of that. This is me praising a good article from what I've seen. Next one is New Jersey. So we're going to pull that up while that's loading. Put very plainly, sex sells. Okay. You don't get much sexier than the classic bunny girl outfit. You know what? I agree, brother. And Azure Lane's wild concept of anthropomorphized World War II battleships, yes, you heard that right, has plenty of room for strangely sexy shipping. New Jersey here even makes something of a goof on this, the beautiful stamp signature artfully making an attempt at censoring our pinup. But good point. I didn't even think about that it's covering the booty. Attempting but not quite succeeding, and that's just more fun, right? Okay, cool. So Jersey. So already, and I didn't look at the prices for this. I just looked at the article. So we have number 10 is at $2,500, but number 9 is at half that price. So how is it? So that makes me cool. But okay, it's actually had sales recently. This thing sold like this is the 14th that I'm. Hold on, my head's in the way. I just looked over and saw my head was in the way. Could have done that to begin with. You dumb, you big dumb dummy. Okay, click it. Today's the 14th. This sold for $1,050 4 days ago, and still had sales in March and in February. Okay. So here's the interesting thing. How come it doesn't come up here? Because clearly, when you show this, there's a market price and listed immediate. So I guess the only thing is they probably need to fix this, like the current price points for when they do the article stuff. I don't know. Like maybe that's just something that needs to be okay. So I actually want to pull back up the Shizu just real quick to see when. So maybe it's based off how often it's sold and the data and stuff. Hold on, let's see. 1 year, because it's saying like listed median price is obviously going to be based off of that, but it's sold for like $730. Okay, so it is kind of a weird that we did a drop like that, even though we're going up in the top 10. But I guess that would be the only thing is in terms of the article is beautifully written. But I guess in terms of showing. When you show your points like this, I would feel getting this to work properly would help the article. Just stating that's like my only critique so far. That's not even a critique. That's just me saying, hey, this would help. Next is Poolside Temptation Toru. We're going to pull that up. Take what I said about sex selling above, then add in even more popular IP, and you get the Poolside Temptation Toru. The much-loved protagonist of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid makes an ... impressive appearance on this card, certainly earning her namesake and then some. Notably, the stamp signature here is that of the artist, which is in many ways adds to the mystique. I actually did not realize that. So that's the artist, not the voice actress for Toru. Oh, yeah. Okay, because in JP... They had, or I know the one that we got is from the manga, like the cards are based off of stuff from the manga specifically. So that makes even more sense that it's of the artist. But I'm very glad that they knew that. Like that's just really cool. So, And we're still going down in price here, but we have oh wow, we have several postings of this. Okay, we have one down here for almost 5K. There are several copies of it, and we also have like graded stuff up here. It says BGS 10, that's graded. PSA 10. What if it's Black Label or not? I don't know. Okay, cool. No real data on any last sold listings or anything. Oh, no. In the past 3 months, 800. So, was it selling for that? It had to have been selling for that. That's really crazy. Okay, cool. Then we have Albedo. Obviously figured, you know, Albedo was the top of the list. Was number 1 on the Game Rant one. So this is really crazy to see here. Throne of the Founding Declaration, which I think is from one of the later volumes. I think it's from like later on. I can't remember. Volume 2. Okay, I was correct on that. The power fantasy found in many manga and anime will often be the primary factor of their popularity, and few really give that rush better than Overlord. The main supporting character, Albedo, is part of that fantasy, a deeply loyal companion to the protagonist, and beautiful to look at to boot. This signed version of such a well-loved NPC unsurprisingly demands a price worthy of her role as overseer of the Floor Guardians. So, let's take a look. It says it has no current listings, but it's had sales for $900 to $1,000. So there's not like an ascending price point for this particular. Maybe at the time when they wrote this there was a listing and it got taken off. Could have been. It's been a couple days, so I mean, you know, we'll give the benefit of the doubt on that one. So could very well have been taken off. But it seems to have plateaued around like the $900 to $1,000 range. Obviously, like I said, you know, one sold for $1,000. Oh, well, my head's covering it again. I'm an idiot. So we do have 1,000 right there. So, yeah. So it's very interesting. So it's in my opinion, I would have tried to put it in like ascending order, like in terms of like the 10 that you picked. Number 10 needs to be the quote unquote lowest one, and I don't know, maybe that's just, when you go based off of the market thing itself, I feel that's the way to go. That's just me, but that's not a nitpick. That's just okay, they did it this way instead. Prinz Ujin, because it could still be based off of like demand and whatnot as well. People could be like trying to like say, oh, I want, you know, I'm looking for this card specifically, you know. The next one is Prinz Ujin, so we do have another from Azure Lane. Once again, very understandable about this. Our second Azure Lane representative, we see yet another example of sexy battleships that you can play or put on display. High value pieces like this, I will always recommend setting up for display, but I certainly won't tell you what to do with your cards. Prinz Ujin is similarly not judging you, though the bombastic signature featured is doing its best to draw your attention from that alluring gaze and lack of clothing. I can see why she commands a princely price. It's like, very, very eloquent way of speaking there. So once again, very nice signature there. So what prices are we looking at here? So 900 to, you know, 872. We've had one sell in the past month for almost $900. And there's a spider directly in front of me. I just had to kill it. Sorry, I literally saw a spider just going right up in front of my line of vision. It's like, what the hell? One listing for 900 as opposed to the several listings of the other one. Confrontation with Humans Toka from Data Live. The popularity contest between Data Live characters is forever ongoing. Once again, I feel like they've watched the animes, and so I respect that even more. With Kurumi and Toka stands absolutely being among the highest numbers. When it comes to Weiss Schwarz, however, Toka reigns supreme with her rarest variant pulling in some serious value. Confrontations with Humans, Toka represents the fully armed and armored character while the stamp signature blazes out from the combat-ready character's art. So, very nice. And how much are you going for? Well, once again, about 800 or so. We do have actually several listings on this one. So, one a little bit over $1,000. I actually know Guild Gaming, so that's really cool. I've seen Card Shop Coco around a whole bunch too. So, we have UA, Special Lover UA. Trying to click on that. Once again, like all the ones that I've seen here don't have any numbers in the little box right there. I feel that would have helped, you know. Few shows have quite as much raw waifu material as Arifureta. While Tio is closer to my aesthetic, you know, I understand where this man's coming from. Even made a little link to this. What was, oh my goodness. He even made a link to the TOSP. Says it's closer to his aesthetic. You know what? It's a man of culture right there. And the people and the market have spoken, with UA rising up to the top in overall popularity. This means that her stamp signature card is the most valuable in the Arifureta set, in no small part due to the lovely cadence of her signature, complete with an affectionate heart. It does. It has a little heart there. It's so cute. So that one's right at 1,000. Yeah, so we just had the one, but it's definitely, I'll put it above my head this time. It's definitely been selling back in February for that much. That is kind of crazy. So, clad in pure white, Tokoyami Toa, which is really, cool because I just recorded the tournament report, and I saw a Toa and Bay deck up there. So, yeah, that's really cool. Well, love to see Hololive up on this list anyway. So, I know there's going to be another Hololive one, but it's all good. So, our first but not our last Hololive Productions representative on the list, this fan-favorite VTuber company has collaborated with Weiss Schwarz to let players represent their love for these popular personalities. I love the alliteration there. Toa is one of the most notable Japanese VTubers with an incredible showing of music and other forms of entertainment prominently displayed on YouTube. Her rarest card shows her dressed essentially in bridal clothes and features her stamp, making the wife in waifu much more literal than usual and driving up the value of her card. Like, that is so cool. I love the stamp for it anyway. I'm actually surprised because, like, I feel there's like a Suisei that's like much more expensive than Toa. Toa is great, like, do not get me wrong, but I do believe Suisei is a bit more popular. That's just me. We have several postings over $900, even some pictures as well. And in terms of the last one that actually sold was in December, so that's still cool. But I mean, it's roughly stayed like at around the same price range, so kind of cool there. The next one, obviously we saw at the beginning of the article, was Gura, the Midsummer Sun SSP Climax. Gargura is the world's most well-known VTuber for a reason, and her rarest card commands the price to match that fame. The beloved Shark Girl has charmed an international audience with her hijinks, and her smiling face is enough to bring a grin to your own. Even better, this variant features her stamped signature, bringing even more love about a game piece that's worth hanging on your wall. I forgot to do that. This is my pick for the best display piece in the entire Weiss Schwarz collection, though it's worth noting that Gura is a relevant meta pick if you're aiming for competitive play. So most definitely the price tag is showing, that's for damn sure. Only one posting, but for $1,200, and it's like, looks like it's had some sales at it's actually had sales for stuff, which is just absolutely bonkers to me. Yeah, no, it's understandable though. Shark Girl say, let's see, so then we go to Roxy, but like I said, I could have sworn there was like some Suisei that was like just as expensive. So even going based off of price, I could have sworn that was in just as much demand. So, and even by, once again, the showing of, which one was it? Was it the Prince Ujin? It was one of these up here that didn't have like any listings. I can't remember what it was, but one of them didn't have any listings. So even if it was like, oh look, we had some copies sold of like say Suisei, I don't know, you could have still put that up here, but that's just me. Regardless though, he even seems to be in the know for about VTubers and stuff, so that's really cool. The last one, number 1, we have Lolly Scornful Eyes Unfriendly Roxy SP. And I have seen the price for this one. This is up there. Once again, even for the number 1, the current price points aren't shown up here. The ultimate representative of the waifu effect, Roxy is an exceptionally popular character from a beloved recent anime, Mushoku Tensei. Roxy's most valuable variant and the most valuable card on the TCG player market for Weiss Schwarz features the stamp signature of her voice actress in a charming flowing script, which because she writes a little message and everything. So that looping script rolls into the art, featuring the character looking with disgust at the viewer due to her drenched state and really making you feel her scorn. Avert your eyes or pay the price. And that's going to be it for the article itself, but let's take a look at the Roxy real quick. Okay, so this particular Roxy was on that other top 10 from Game Rant. And for understandable reasons. Yeah. Almost $10,000. And if you're going based off of price alone, it's very fair that people trying to get rid of this, trying to, like, that's up there. That's insane for a lot of cards. It looks like it's sold at, like, roughly at 1,600 before, which is just ridiculous. Oh my goodness. So, and that is going to be it for it. And like I said, there's a little thing at the bottom that says written by Drew Knapp. Big into MTG apparently, has a master's in English and a deep love for nerd culture. So that tells me, he's big into the anime, video game, and clearly it seems like the VTuber community in terms of like what, having knowledge of the stuff. Didn't mean to actually click on it. Sorry. But no. So kudos to Homeboy, to Drew for making what I feel is actually a good article. Like actually showcasing different varieties of the different signatures. Showcases the climaxes, showcases character signatures, artist signatures as well. So there's a healthy spread too. Yeah, you have you have 2 in Hololive and 2 from Azure. But other than that, like everything else is like from different franchises as well. That actually makes sense. The waifu effect makes sense when it comes to any kind of top 10 list like this. So, I'm not sponsored by TCG Player. I really am not. I talk about them a whole bunch in videos because I just like to use them the most. But when you also see, like, articles like this up here where people actually know what the hell they're talking about, it makes me trust the site a little bit more too. So, once again, big thank you to Drew for writing up a really cool article. I'm going to try to get this video out pretty quickly. And yeah, no, thank y'all very much for watching. Go, take a look on TCG Player. Look at Drew's other articles. I might go take a look at a couple of them myself, to be completely honest. I want to see if there's any other Weiss ones, but he's got some over to the side I realize I'm covering up for MTG and Shadowverse too. So, there is another one for Weiss over here for Likers Recall, also written by him, so that's really cool. But yeah, thank y'all very much for watching. I'm going to be hopping off of here. We'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.